Picture this. It's a sunny afternoon at the Oval in London, back in 2006. England is playing Pakistan in a classic test match. But what's about to happen is anything but classic. For the first time in over 130 years, in over 1,000 test matches, a game isn't going to end with a winner and a loser. Nope, it's about to end in a forfeiture, a protest that would light a fuse under the entire world of cricket. So let's just break down how quickly this whole thing spiraled out of control. At 2:30 p.m., everything's normal. The umpires do a routine ball inspection. But just over an hour later, at 3:42, boom. The umpires have accused the Pakistani team of ball tampering, they've taken the ball out of play, and they've given 5 penalty runs to England. The Pakistani team, feeling like their honor had just been attacked on the world stage, refused to come back out after the tea break. By 4:24 p.m., it was all over. A single decision had escalated into a full-blown historic crisis. The reaction, as you can imagine, was instant, and it was split right down the middle. On one side, you had cricket royalty, like the former Australian captain Steve Waugh. His take was simple. The rules are the rules, no one is bigger than the game, and you have to respect the umpire's decision. End of story. But then, on the other side, you had guys like Nasser Hussain, a former England captain, who said he would have done the exact same thing as Pakistan's captain Inzamam ul-Haq. For them, this wasn't about disrespecting the game. It was a justified protest against a very serious, and they felt, completely baseless accusation of cheating. So what was this all about? What was the big deal? To really get why Pakistan felt so strongly that they would walk away from a test match, we have to understand the accusation itself. And that means we have to talk about a mysterious, kind of controversial cricketing skill known as reverse swing. Okay, so let's get into the physics just a little bit. Swing bowling is all about making the cricket ball curve sideways through the air as it gets to the batsman. It all comes down to how the air flows over the ball's surface, with its one shiny side and one rough side. That creates a pressure difference that makes it move. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Conventional swing, that's what you expect with a new hard ball. It curves away from the shiny side. But reverse swing, well, that's like a bowler's secret weapon. It only happens with an old, battered ball, usually bowled at high speed. And it does the exact opposite of what everyone expects. It swings towards the shiny side, often super late. It's a delivery that just seems to defy physics, and it can leave the best batsman in the world completely bamboozled. And this brings us right to the heart of the matter, that very, very fine line between legally maintaining the ball, polishing one side with your sweat or saliva, and illegally tampering with it to make that reverse swing happen sooner or happen more dramatically. That's the line the umpires believed Pakistan had crossed. Now, let's be super clear here. This incident didn't just happen in a vacuum. Cricket has a long and, let's call it a creative, history of players trying to bend and sometimes just flat out break the rules to get an advantage with the ball. I mean, players have gotten seriously inventive over the years. They've been accused of everything from using mints to make their saliva sugary for a better shine, to much more obvious stuff like rubbing the ball in their zippers or using a bottle cap to rough up one side. It's this constant cat and mouse game between players pushing the limits and the officials trying to keep things fair. But for Pakistan, this accusation felt different. It carried a lot of historical weight. See, back in the 90s, when their legendary bowlers like Wasim Akram and Waqar Younis basically invented the art of reverse swing, their genius was often treated with suspicion. Many just called it cheating. But then, years later, when English bowlers learned how to do it, it was praised as masterful craftsmanship. That history of a perceived double standard is so important for understanding why they decided to make a stand. And just when you thought this story couldn't possibly get any crazier, a leaked email from one of the umpires, an Australian named Darrell, blew the whole scandal wide open and completely flipped the script. In this email to the International Cricket Council, Darrell offered to resign from his job on the elite umpiring panel. And his price? A confidential one-time payment of $500,000. Now, Hare claimed the money was just compensation for his future lost earnings. But, the request was just stunning. All of a sudden, the focus wasn't just on whether Pakistan had cheated. It was on the umpire's own behavior and his motivations. The whole story had taken a massive turn. So now we've got accusations of cheating, a historic forfeiture, and a secret offer for $500,000. The whole thing, this incredible mess, ended up in front of an official hearing at the ICC to try and sort it all out. And the final verdict was, well, it was fascinatingly complex. Pakistan's captain Inzamam was actually cleared of the big charge, ball tampering. They said there wasn't enough evidence. He was, however, banned for 4 matches for leading the protest. But here's the kicker. The umpire, Darrell, was banned from officiating top-level international matches. So in this crazy twist, the team accused of cheating was cleared of it, while the umpire who made the accusation was punished for his own actions after the match. And that decision to ban Hare was incredibly divisive. Just look at the vote. It split pretty much right down old colonial lines. You had the major Asian and African cricket nations voting for the ban, while England, Australia, and New Zealand voted to support him. It really exposed some deep-seated tensions simmering just below the surface of how the global game was being run. So why does this one single match from 2006 still get talked about so much today? Because, as you've probably figured out by now, this was never really just about a scuffed-up cricket ball. It was about something much, much deeper. I mean, this one afternoon at the Oval touched on pretty much everything. History, cultural bias, money, the integrity of the officials, and the very definition of what fair play even means. It forced the entire sport to stare right into those uncomfortable gray areas between playing hard to win and actively cheating to get an edge. And in the end, the 2006 Oval Test leaves us with this huge, provocative question. It's a question that every sport, and really every fan, has to grapple with. What's the real difference between genius and deception? Between brilliant innovation and outright cheating? And maybe the most important question of all is, who gets to draw that line?